Welcome to another episode of The Velvet Hammer.
And here we go. I mean, I just have this sensation where I'm not coming down. I am up. My adrenaline is up. Maybe I'm not manifesting it, but I'm just jacked up. I can't sleep. I was ready to go to trial. We were going to go to Tacoma for like 6 weeks, I think. And it was going to be
Epic.
Doozy. And then now we are not going to trial.
All dressed up and nowhere to party.
Yes, all dressed up and nowhere to go. It's hard. I mean, it's now bleeding into other cases.
Mo, be honest. How lovely have I been to be around the last week?
You have been spicy. I mean,
so
Mike, she's been
awful.
so spicy. She's been
I've been picking fights with
short,
everybody.
interrupting, not letting me finish. It's like as if I did something. You're the one who resolved the case. I didn't. You stopped this.
Loris beat me in backgammon. I've had a full-on tantrum. I was on the floor kicking my feet like I was 3 years old. I just let it rip. I'm so aggressive right now.
So you think that it's all the build-up to the case that you were gearing up to fight and then you didn't get to fight, so now you're...
It's common.
Now it's weaning off at the last second?
It's post-settlement malaise.
No,
Except for it's not
called,
really malaise.
Yeah, no, that's not... Malaise would be not doing anything.
No.
What you guys are doing is picking fights with each other because you wanted to fight somebody else and now you can't.
I mean, several times we've had a meeting.
And you can't really talk about it either.
No, we can't talk about it.
It's called post-settlement syndrome.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think that there is a DSM out there that has classified this as a condition. It's called post-settlement syndrome.
I'm not going to say I know whether or not that's true.
I don't think it's
However, in
true.
all fairness, most attorneys want to settle the cases that they're working on, and they're always thrilled when they're done and when they settle them.
Well, yeah, and we've talked about that before. This firm and firms like us are different because we want to go to trial. I mean, it would have been a good thing if you prevailed at this for more than just us. As the people who were going to be going to do the fight,
Yeah.
you know, this is like a heavyweight boxing match, but at the last second, the ref comes in and says, "Okay, it's over."
It's over.
That's exactly what happened.
All right.
Literally, that's exactly what happened.
Don't not talk. We got to talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We were a year and a half of
Wait, he's got to go back on.
Oh, it's
Oh, you never
They've been
let
on.
me in the whole time.
No, we let you go and we just kept talking.
Oh, excellent. Good.
But
Yes.
we might have to edit some out because I'm concerned that they could hear you talking.
Oh, yeah, sorry. This is my water guy.
Well, that's not something that we really need to worry about.
It's pretty funny.
I mean,
Okay, let's rewind.
let's structure this.
Okay.
Let's structure this.
So you settle a case. Your client's happy.
I'm not.
You've done a very good job. But the case is over, and it's a case that you've been working on, like high intensity for, in this case, it was pretty fast, only 2 years.
Yeah.
Wrongful death case. There's just, where's that energy going to go? It's got to go somewhere, and where it's coming out is my attitude is bad.
I mean, her attitude is terrible right now.
It's like if a defense lawyer looks at me the wrong way, I will just go all over.
No, but
And it's not even a defense lawyer. It's even my friends.
she's being very spicy.
Even
That's
in the
the
law
thing.
firm.
She's just being spicy.
I'm aggressive.
You guys need to have a field trip to where you go to a gym and just work out on the heavy bag for a while or something like that.
But that, I mean, I'm honest. I've been going to the gym every day, and I'm trying to get it out of me.
Mine, it's pretty much almost gone for me.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not. You were like it this morning.
No, what?
Yeah, you were like it right in my office right now. You were like it. You're very spicy. And it's just the adrenaline. It's that, when you teach your body to go into battle mode, and you're prepped and you've done everything right and you're getting ready to walk in, and we were getting ready to walk in and kick the ever loving life out of the other side, and then somebody says they submit, and then you go, what? I go, they submit. That's basically how I read this. I don't view settlement as like, oh, we got together and they submitted. They submitted. They knew what they were walking into, and they submitted. That's why you want to fight. You don't want the submission because the whole time they've been signaling that they want to fight.
The last time that this happened, where I was again. Was I conflicted? I wasn't conflicted, because ultimately, and I can talk about the settlement, it was when we settled the Black Lives Matter case for $10 million, which was about $8 million more than I thought that they would ever pay. I was 100% convinced we were going to go to trial on that case. That's the only reason I ever took it.
Yeah.
The only reason I took that case pro bono initially was to try it, because I wanted the public to know. I wanted them to know exactly what happened, and the only way you could get a good hearing of that was to have the trial, and the clients wanted to have a trial. That's why they signed up, because I said, don't come into this case unless you want to go to trial. We want to try this case.
Yeah.
It is important. It is part of history. We need to do it. And that case was 4 years in the making. And when it came time to settle, and they decided to keep raising and raising and raising until it was at a point where I couldn't say, like, we're going to beat this amount more than 50% of the time. That's normally kind of my, can we beat this more than 50% of the time? The answer was, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you that we will, because the political climate has changed.
Yeah.
People turn their backs on the protesters. I mean, now we're looking at the DOJ just reversing its investigation of the police departments on George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. I mean, the world has changed in 4 years.
People are being arrested for protesting, period, now.
Yes.
People are being stopped. Like, free speech has been suspended, essentially.
So we get to the point, and we are ramped up. We have a huge team. Everybody wants to try the case. We go in there thinking they're going to offer us $2 million and that we'll have a hard decision to make. And that's not what they offered.
And they offered more. Okay, so here, I think this is the part we can kind of talk about, is because, okay, the art of the settlement and how it drives you to stop a case and talk about Black Lives Matter. Like, what is it that stops the case? Like, why 10 million? It seems arbitrary.
Well, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
It was that the only way that we would agree to settle the case was if it was a statement of liability.
Okay.
And we believed and we agreed that 10 was a statement. And in fact, that has turned out to be true.
Okay.
There's a difference, I've told you before,
between 9
and 10. So 10 was that line in the sand number, and they decided to pay it. And I was, in the middle of another trial when this was going on. And I don't know if I've ever talked about this other than to the press. They put in their settlement agreement that we couldn't contact the media until...
Yeah, it was like 8 days or...
It was like the next week until this hour. And it wasn't very long. And I agreed to it, and I thought, Ann Davison wants to, because they've watched how I work, and they're going to, trump us. So we had already, even though I didn't think the case was ever going to settle, had already been working on the press release, which we went, even though I was in trial in another case, I took the lead on drafting that thing, illustrating it, creating the whole package so it was ready to go, and then arranged, with Cassie's help, but trust me, I was a mastermind of this, for all the clients that could to come down to the courthouse in Lemhell, and for everyone to come down. And so I literally finished closing argument, walked out the door, down the hall, and that's where the press conference was.
I remember that. You were in that pink jacket.
And it had to be done because guess what? Like an hour before that happened, the city had released a release saying, we did this, but it wasn't our fault. And, we just did it because, this was an economics decision. And I called BS on it.
No, you did more than that.
Well,
I call that was your punk speech.
I did. I called them punks.
I called the famous punk speech.
Yeah.
And you were in pink.
I was
pink
crying
punk.
at halftime. I was so angry. I was.
You were in pink.
What is the word for, hangry is when you're hungry and angry. What is it when you're so angry that you just lose it? I mean, intentionally, I allow myself to just cry angry. I was so furious.
She was crying. You were crangry.
Well, it was because, the protesters were there and they were so lovely and important. They were such important clients. Yeah. Their mission was so worthy. They're so eloquent. They were there to protect the First Amendment. The ones, all of them, but, especially the ones that were there, they could so eloquently say what they were doing and why. And it was never about the money. It was about making a statement and doing this on behalf of. And here we are. Like, what good did it do? I don't know. History says it did something good, and it did something good for them, and it gave a marker of this is what the world should be like. Yeah. And now we're going backwards. But that is an example of, again, I mean, I didn't have time to be upset about settling the case because I was in trial on another case, and I had to deal with this stupid press release battle that the city foisted on us because they wanted to get out and give their statement. But afterwards, yes, I mean, I still feel the pain. You talk about, you feel the pain on losing. You feel the pain on not getting enough. But I do feel the pain that I never got to try many cases. I feel the pain of it. Not often. But maybe that's why I react so poorly after this last one, is because it's every time it happens, it's a cumulative effect. It's the trauma of having settled cases that I wanted to try so bad because justice was on our side.
The pain that I feel, and the pain that I feel is the pain of not having the opportunity to confront the other side with what they did wrong and hold them accountable in a way in which, I know this is a little bit aggressive, but humiliates them.
A public humiliation. That's my,
okay.
I feel the same way.
Okay, all right.
I feel the same way. I wanted them to be exposed.
And to have those witnesses on the stand and slowly walk them through what they did, and then ask them...
Inexcusable.
Ask them a question. What accountability, if any, do you take for what happened?
I'll never forget the one officer that just shot the blast ball that hit one of our clients directly in the chest, caused her heart to stop beating. Yeah. And, you're supposed to only shoot those things not to strike a person. Yeah. And not only did he shoot it, but he just kept going on his merry way. He didn't wait to see where it landed. I mean, it hit her right smack. The videos were just horrible. He violated all kinds of procedures. And most of them are still working for the police department.
I mean, the one I think of is the inquest hearing that I just did in January, and the officer who shot and killed Iosif Alatogo, he was on the stand, and I asked him a question, and, he had the gun out, and the gun pointed to Iosif's head, and I said, okay, so you have the gun, right? It's in your hand, right? Like, you're intentionally holding the gun, aren't you? And I was like, and then the gun jammed. He pulled the trigger multiple times. So I slowed it down and asked him, I was like, so you were pulling the trigger, and when you did it, you were intending to discharge a bullet into his head. And then I was like, that wasn't an accident, right? And I was like, walk me through how slowly you did that. Did you press it like this? And I walked him through each one. And then I asked him, I was like, what accountability do you take for taking his life? And they objected. Wouldn't let him answer the question.
Because it was an inquest.
Yeah, but, I was like, do you take any moral responsibility for what happened? And then they objected. And she wouldn't let him answer. But the jury at the end wanted that answered.
Yeah.
I think that, that's the part of the trial I miss, is that, and this is Karen, because I was a federal public defender.
There's many other selfish. Okay, there's the high road that we've talked about,
Wait.
right? No, I got to interrupt us because
all right.
we are so preachy and high road now. I mean, let's be real.
Okay, what's the real?
Oh, come on.
Well, what are you talking about?
It's the high point of what we do.
It is the high
We
point.
can't
the low
play in our
point.
sandbox. They didn't let us play in our sandbox. We wanted to throw sand and kick them in the face and do all kinds of bad things, and they deprived us of it. And so we are very funky right now. We wanted to do it. It was very selfish.
Truth. You wanted to be able to, metaphorically, you wanted to be able to hit them, and you didn't get to. So now
Yes.
you're stomping around because you didn't get the release.
Okay, that's
Correct.
right. We wanted to play tetherball,
Oh,
and
what
they
do you
took
mean
the
that's
tether
right?
ball away.
You
They took
know
all
this
away.
is
Okay, that's
correct.
exactly
We
right.
didn't want to play something as refined as tetherball. This
No.
was sock 'em, rock 'em,
this
kick 'em.
was punch him in the face. That's exactly what you wanted to do.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
I mean,
all
Look
right.
at him. He knows this is true.
So wait, this is Rascal Mo. Yes,
It is,
I
for
wanted
sure.
to be a
Ruthless
rascal
Mo. Be-
and ruthless. I could be ruthless, but
my
you
God.
gotta. But I think getting into the sandbox is. I also wanted to go in and play with Karen in the sandbox.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of fun, and the last trial we did was the Summer Taylor trial. I think one of the highlights of the trial was picking her up. And then driving to court, and then driving her home, and not
never
knowing how to get to her
Never
house.
knew how to get back to my house.
The whole time I didn't know how to get to your house.
Drives like he's 95 years old.
and literally we're sitting there and she's like,
I'm like, are we moving? Are we standing still? Like, can you please
Okay.
put your foot on the gas?
Yeah, that's me riding in anyone's car at any given time.
God.
and that picture I sent you, which is her
Precious
going,
cargo carrier.
which is
Precious
her going
cargo.
like this. She's going, that. But that was at the trial. I think part of what I missed was that you genuinely have a good time trying a case with somebody you enjoy trying a case with.
Yeah.
And I think that's also was. That would have been a 4-week party.
Yeah, we were getting ready to. I had said, screw the Airbnb. We were going to just go do it at the hotel.
Yeah.
We got the calendar with the witness names. I mean, all this stuff is happening. The fun stuff that comes at the end of the case after you've gone through grueling months of depositions and discovery. And there's I don't even know how many attorneys are on all the cases together. There was probably about 15 attorneys against us. And we're just, go, and then it's over.
So one of the challenges I'm having right now
It's like
is
training for a marathon and it's canceled.
Well, and it's also, you've gone through all the depositions where they're little skirmishes.
Yeah.
And you get, I assume, you get frustrated when something happens in one of those and you want to come back and go at them, and then you don't get to.
I mean, all the taunting that I do, because, okay,
Yeah, no, you do.
I taunt. So, I mean, there was Muhammad Ali and that kind of, Rocky, the Rocky film, they're taunting. That is not limited to the sports playing field.
No, it's not.
I am a very good taunter, and I will do it sweetly.
I'll
but
move like a butterfly, sting like
you
a
have
bee.
no case. You have, what is your case? What is your damages case?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that witness. I'm going to identify that witness as my own witness now. Thank you very much. Anything else? I mean, it's just a constant thing, right? Which is very fun. And a lot of good defense lawyers like engaging with me in that, and a lot of bad ones hate me for it. But there's so much mind game that goes on when you're doing something like this. It is a sporting event in many ways. It's physical, it's mental, it's all encompassing. You're inside and you're out. Everything that you're doing is focused on that, and then it's gone.
So one of the challenges is that now this sort of spiciness is bleeding into other cases. Like, how do you manage that?
I don't care.
You don't care? Well, what if the case doesn't really need that? And then this poor defense lawyer is
They all
like,
need it.
Why
Yeah,
are you?
now they know.
They all need it. Okay.
they
all
I
need
like that mantra.
Even when I'm rude, no offense to people here at the office, which I have been, and I'm sorry about it now in retrospect, but it doesn't hurt for people to know that, I can be a little bit of a brat.
Yeah. a lot.
It reminds people like she didn't get where she did just by being sweet and nice and trying to make everybody happy. Oh, she can throw a punch. Oops, she just did. I don't like it.
Exactly.
Stop. Just stop.
It's true.
It's true. Yes. Yes, you're incorrigible. That is what you are.
Have I been mean to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I can take it. I'm a big boy, but like, yeah, but like, you know.
Because what I want to do is get under I want to get under everybody's skin. Right now, I am irascible right now.
Okay, you know what she does? I'm going to give you an example. We have another case coming up in September in federal court.
Yeah.
And then, so the case is essentially an admitted liability case, and it's just damages.
Medical negligence.
And then there's some liability on an issue, negligent infliction of emotional distress. But that aside, she says, well, this trial's coming up, and I don't really need anybody's help. Wait, it gets better. I don't really need anybody's help. But, you know, I'm going to let you do a witness. And I was like, oh, you are? I was like, well, thank you. And then she's like, but you can't do damages. You don't know damages. You don't know how to ask for money. Like, this is like what she's doing to me. And
wait. He also said, can I do opening? I said, no.
And it's just like, but like, so sometimes I'm hearing this, and then I'm going like,
he's like, you're wounding me.
I was like, you are wounding me, you know. And by the way, Mike, she did this in the Summer Taylor trial. We're sitting there. She's like, I'm going to do voir dire. We got to get these. I was like, oh, right, because I don't know how to do voir dire. What is that? What is that process? How do we do that? How do we select or take jurors off? And then she says, okay, you can, okay, you can do voir dire. You sure? I was like, okay. And then I go in and I toss both of the jurors we need to toss in minutes. And then she comes over to me, she writes a little note. She goes, okay, you can do voir dire. I mean, like, this is like a roller coaster, and we go through it over and over and over again. But it's sweet. I like it. I'd say you're spicy. I don't take it personal. It's good.
It's got all my bad qualities. I change my mind constantly because I'm in trial. And number two is my delegation. I do delegate, but only after I trust someone. And I don't trust you yet on money. Damages.
Man. On damages, huh? I don't know how to ask for money, Mike.
Well, it's not just asking; it's being comfortable with it and understanding that it is not money like money. It is money in the context of compensation and honor and dignity and respect.
Yes, I understand that.
I know.
I understand that.
You say you understand.
Do you
it.
sense the tension right now?
Oh yeah.
I mean, talk about that, Mike. Do you sense this tension?
And I don't apologize to anybody right now.
No, but I mean, I don't know what to say about any of this.
There's a tension.
I'm so aggressive.
I would say that to the money thing, that's difficult. It's hard to learn, I think. I would have a lot of difficulty. I've had trouble all throughout my life just getting my own worth correct, but worth for other people would be even harder. Yeah. But I think that this is a natural process, and I think as long as you recognize that it's happening, and that Mo, you recognize that it's happening as well to you.
Yes.
I would say you have been covering up a lot better because you just crank up the "I'm so happy, Mo." He gets more abuse.
Mask. Yeah, he gets more
because all week long you've been like, "Hey, how's it going on?"
Wait, we see had a video on him.
You're like a little bouncing ball running around the office.
Yeah,
that's good.
Because he has his own energy, and then he's getting my energy thrown at him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's reacting to your energy. He's reacting to his own energy.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
He's good at telling me that I'm hurting his feelings. Most tell me that I'm hurting your feelings.
Well, I just think you should be honest with people.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then when I say that, she goes,
"Yeah," she recognizes what she's doing.
Well,
then she gets less spicy.
I mean, I'm also super impatient. Like it's just I'm irritable. Like that's just.
But that's all part of it.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just you trying to shove it down inside, and then
what happened?
Then it's leaking out a little bit.
I'm not trying to shove it down inside anymore. It's come out. It should be over by now. I'm surprised that it's lasted this long. It's lasted over a week.
Yeah.
But it should be over.
I think that was an intense case.
Yeah.
Even though it was short, I think there was a lot to it.
Yeah.
And I think that cases like that are tough.
They're all encompassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
And in this case, it builds up a lot inside of you, which
Yeah.
you didn't get to release because it's over.
Yeah. It's over.
It's over. And it's over. Okay.
That's good.
Is that it? Okay.
That was a good one.
Well, that's all for today.
Until next time.